Toast up, man. We are
Salute.
back for the first time in a brand new spot. But we are still the greatest, most controversial, sometimes infamous podcast when it comes to sports betting on earth. We go by the name of the No Hedging Podcast, and I am Rip 16, the legendary GOAT.
Bad. I'm tired of Jet, man. That's right.
And we the No Hedging Podcast duo, man. What's up, gang? Let us know, man. We back on the new set. Let us know how you feel about it.
Did you notice something?
What's that?
Kind of different in here.
Yeah. It's a brand new set.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Completely different vibe in here. We got a bar in here. So these shows about to be great.
Lit. Let us know what you guys think about the new setup, the new set. You know what I mean?
Got a little dice glass because we like to gamble. Probably can't see that on cam, but they fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, as we like to start off this show, y'all know if y'all been rocking with us, appreciate the new subs. If y'all been rocking with us, then you know we like to start this show with a little bit of GOAT talk.
Okay.
You know
you got
what I'm
for him?
Can I get a Stone Cold Steve Austin? What? The legend of the teaser continues.
Resumes.
It resumes.
Yeah, it was on pause for a
It
minute.
was on pause for a week. It was on pause it took a bye week. But like I said, you know what I'm saying? I think I want to move Alaska to Atlanta so I can be surrounded by people just as cold as me. What's L?
What is the L?
I mean, do you see this coat? Listen.
Cardigan.
Listen, man. They said it was Black Friday, and I know a sports boy hate to see me coming.
They're giving out free stuff in there.
Because they already know what time it is. I ain't seen belt the ass like this till your kid did something you wasn't supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just W. It's just W, then another W, then another W. And it's like, it's getting ridiculous at this point.
Crazy work.
Crazy
work. Listen, crazy work.
Yeah, so y'all should like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Tell them to pull up. If they don't like it, tell them to pull up.
Don't pull up. Don't pull up. Let's jump into the segment.
No, man. Make sure y'all hit those links in the bio, man. Props made easy. I was giving out belt to ass on props too. Listen, let me tell you something. I came up with a nice little 2-man sauce recipe on Prize Picks. Belt to ass. Belt to ass. If you catch you a good taco bet, you use that props made easy, run you a 2-man. Listen, I shouldn't have to say no more. You should know what to do from there. But hit that link in the bio. Props made easy. It's going to make you some monies. Quick. Real quick.
You know what to do.
But yeah, man. New set. Same great show, though. Let's get into our first segment. It's a classic, but it's a goodie. It's a little segment we like to call Takeaway.
Takeaway.
Yeah. Put my shades back on. What do you got? What's your first takeaway, brother?
Yeah, so my first takeaway after week 13 is the cream has risen to the top.
Cream has risen to the top.
The cream has risen to the top.
Okay.
You got your best teams. We already kind of know who they are.
Yeah.
You got,
for sure.
You know, the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas Chiefs locked in a playoff spot.
Yep.
Which we already knew was coming, but those are the first two teams to numerically solidify themselves in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now they're gunning for that number 1 seed to get that home field advantage.
Right.
That first round bye.
So they ain't done trying.
No, they're not done trying. So they're looking for the benefits of that number 1 seed. So you've seen the cream rising to the top there. Still waiting on teams in the NFC to kind of develop. Seems like the AFC is a little bit stronger this year.
Well, I mean, speaking of cream rising to the top, I think the Eagles are one of those teams that have risen to the top after a huge victory over the Ravens, who Lamar Jackson, we all know what he normally does to NFC teams. So that was a huge victory right there. I think they're one of those teams out of the NFC that has risen to the top, and probably they haven't numerically done it, but I think the Lions and the Eagles have pretty much solidified their spots.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, what's their percentage of getting in?
99.
Yeah, so just go ahead and give them a spot.
Lock it down.
Just give them a spot.
Yeah, so it looks like we might be seeing the Eagles and the Lions in the NFC Championship. That's kind of what it looks like.
Shaping up.
Everybody else is kind of shaking themselves, trying to figure it out.
Right.
They down there scratching and clawing. The Vikings, not surprisingly, but they still punching out wins, but they are 10-2.
Listen, I've been telling you these Vikings are not as you weren't convinced.
I feel like
it's a lot. I feel like it's a few teams that's been floating around like throughout the season that you just weren't convinced on, right?
Yep.
Like it was Washington at one point.
Still,
you weren't convinced on
and
them.
Still.
Right, and I mean, and they had some injuries. They had some. I felt like they had some going on with Jaden Daniels that they weren't talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But, and the Vikings were another team that you were kind of like, I don't know about these guys. But they 10-2.
10-2.
They've only lost 2 games.
They're quiet 10-2 too, though.
Yeah,
they're not being talked about as much as they should be, being that they are a 10-2 team. You got, the Lions obviously powerhouse. They 10, the Chiefs, they only lost 1 game. Bills, the Philadelphia, but the Minnesota Vikings, they just quietly sitting there.
Yeah.
And they have an opportunity to chase down the Detroit Lions and win the division.
They still within striking range. I mean, they only as crazy as it looks, they're only 1 game behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did beat them earlier this season. The Lions still look like the perennial favorite in the NFC, but the Vikings on their ass.
They own it.
They on their ass.
Yeah, and Green Bay is too. They winning games consistently. They still winning games. They got a big game this week.
Yeah, they do. They
That
got a big
matters.
game against the Lions, and that matters. But we're going to get into that one a little bit more later. But, yeah, I think the cream is definitely rising to the top. Now, speaking of one of those, right, I still think they're a top-tier team.
Who that?
However, another takeaway of mine personally
Who that?
after Week 13 is the Ravens.
Okay.
Defense, specifically.
Still bad.
Still pretty fucking bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's concerning going into the playoffs, actually, because when you're playing against a good top-tier team, as we saw even an NFC team who Lamar Jackson normally dominates, even against an NFC team, that defense ain't giving Lamar no help out there, for real. Like, you get one of those top-tier teams like the Lions, or you get the Eagles, as we just saw, or one of these other teams, if they do manage to somehow slippery slide their way into a Super Bowl,
The defense will be the downfall.
the defense will be your fucking downfall, which is tragic after finally getting past Patrick Mahomes, if that happens,
yeah.
which is a long shot in itself. And the Bills is also on your ass.
Yeah, they've been playing very well.
So I mean, it's tough to say, but just projecting into the future, that's my concern as we're approaching playoff time, because we week 14. It's only 4 more weeks, then we in the playoffs.
Do you think so? You don't think Lamar is capable enough to carry his defense?
No. No, I don't.
Because he hasn't done it.
No, because he ain't did it. Like, I mean, they've been winning games. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they're a losing team. However, they've lost, 5 games now? They ain't 5. So, I mean, it's 5 times. I haven't seen Lamar have that bad of a game all season. Like, just an atrocious game.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him have an egregious
He
loss
has
or
an
terrible
MVP
loss.
type season this year. He
That's what I'm
hasn't thrown that
saying.
many
He's
interceptions.
trying to
He's
go
been
back
protecting
to
the
back
ball.
on MVP,
Yeah.
and his performance is indicative of that. But the defense ain't giving him no help. So my concern is the defense, he can't carry that. Like, it's just like Joe Burrow is
like
not
Joe
having
Burrow.
a bad
Yeah.
season. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are putting up good numbers,
Great numbers, yeah. They're having great seasons, but the defense is...
but the defense is causing them to lose games.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So
Yeah.
I mean, he had like 6 losses at 30 points. You put up 30, you're not supposed to lose 6 times.
Yeah, but you give up 44.
Exactly.
to Pittsburgh.
defense.
Yeah.
So that's my concern about the Ravens. Like my takeaway is looking at them even against the NFC team, because that's a game that Lamar Jackson typically wins.
Mm-hmm.
You lost against an NFC team, even though it is the Eagles, and the Eagles are good, and they're phenomenal run game with Saquon Barkley. Don't get me wrong. But you also have a phenomenal run game with Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have thought that would have been more of a neutralizing factor. More of a determining factor was the defense. Them Georgia Bulldogs done started coming on for the Eagles.
They have.
They ain't fucking around.
Shouts out to Vic Fangio getting them boys right.
Oh, yeah.
Took a while, but they come into form right now.
What you say? He pull out his cell phone?
Hey, beep, beep, beep. Let's dial it up.
Dialing it up.
No, but that kind of goes into the point that you was making earlier off camera about the offenses playing better, right? They got more time on task with each other. They're figuring each other out. They understand it. So, like in the beginning of the season, the defenses always have the advantage because the offenses have to build that relationship. They have to click. They have to connect.
Right.
Quarterbacks have to bond, relate with receivers. Timing routes, quarterbacks and coordinators, all of that. And then now it's more so like, okay, these offenses, they're starting to click a little bit more, and the defenses are a little bit kind of backing down.
Right. And I mean, kind of, well, it's good that you said that, actually. Let's go ahead and parlay that, what you just said.
Love the parlay.
Love a good parlay.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and parlay that into a little segment we like to call Besides the Chiefs.
Besides the Chiefs.
So, parlaying that, we all know the Chiefs are a contender for a three-peat.
The number one.
Number one.
Only one.
Only one. Only team to have a chance at three-peating right now is the Kansas City Chiefs. They managed to squeak their way past the goddamn Raiders again.
They find a way. Find a way. They need T-shirts made that says, we found a way.
Clark Atlanta has a motto that I love that I carry with me throughout life, and that is, if I can't find a way, I'll make one.
I'll make one. There you go.
And I feel like that's what the Chiefs are living by right now, and they are winning hella games doing so. But besides the Chiefs, who are some of your contenders and pretenders?
Yeah, let's get into it. Some people might get a little upset.
Am I some people?
Yes, you are. Some people might get a little upset. But we got to be honest. We have to look ourselves in the mirror.
Go ahead. Let me take my glasses off for this one.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, okay, yeah, I saw this.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Took my glasses off because I saw it coming. Go ahead.
You wanted to see it coming.
Go ahead.
The Atlanta Falcons, they are looking like pretenders right now. You start off the season, you got probably the best, the easiest schedule in the league at the top.
I'm so glad you said that.
They got probably the easiest schedule in the league, right?
That.
Preseason.
I'm gonna let you finish.
You get through the beginning of that. It was the rough part of it. You know, you got the Eagles, you got the Chiefs, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers, you got teams like that. You get through that. Then you get through the middle of the season, and it's a little bit up and down. And now you lose 3 straight. Come off the bye, and Tampa Bay is on you, and you lose one at home against the Chargers, who just played a game against the Ravens. Come all the way across to Atlanta, and Kirk Cousins throws 4 interceptions, pick 6. Terrible football game. Terrible. Now you're 6-6. You're 500. So, I mean, you're looking real pretender-ish right now.
I'll say this. Glad you mentioned strength of schedule.
Talk about it.
Strength of schedule is bullshit.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why it's bullshit. These teams are shaping up a lot different than we anticipated. And throughout the season, there's a little thing called injuries. There's a little thing called head coaching changes, defensive coordinator changes. So that strength of schedule that you had at the beginning of the season is very much so different.
It's
than
different.
Later on
it's different for sure. But it's based upon previous season.
It's based upon previous season,
Yeah.
but it's not the same team
It's
as
not.
the previous
That's
season.
true. That's
also,
true. That's
so
true.
I can't put too much weight on strength of schedule. Now, looking at these 3 losses, who did they lose to? They lost to a Chargers defense with Jim Harbaugh that is turned up.
Could be one of the number one defenses in the league, arguably.
They play really well on defense, especially over the past maybe month and a half. I'll give them. Who else did we lose to? We lost to that wasn't within those 3 games because we beat the Cowboys after the Seahawks. Who was the other 2?
You lost Atlanta
because we had a bye week and we lost to the Saints. The Saints is the lone exception, who is our arch nemesis. The Saints is the lone exception to a playoff team that we've actually lost to. So, but the Saints are our nemesis. So, I mean, they always going to play us hard. It's always going to be a tough game. And Koo missed 3 kicks in that game. That wasn't Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins had a terrible game. It was atrocious. However, if we paying attention to what's going on and how the games have been playing out and what's really moving, like, it makes sense. You played against the Broncos, who are also a playoff team. That was the other one. The Broncos have been a sensational team, and they're a playoff team, and we can get into them a little bit more in a second.
Yeah,
but
Saints,
Broncos, Chargers. Our arch nemesis, a playoff team and a playoff team, basically. So we've lost to some good teams, with the exception of our nemesis. I'm not OD concerned about that, but I feel like a lot of people, I'm hearing some talks. I got one of those text messages from my people out west.
They coming.
They was like, yeah.
Put Michael Penix in.
Yeah. They yelling, put in Penix. We went to the game on Sunday.
Put Michael Penix in.
We heard somebody yelling for Penix to come in. Listen, it's late in the season. Do not put Penix in right now. It is a fucked up time to put in a rookie quarterback and ask him to try to get rhythm.
Not when you need wins.
This is not the time to ask him to try to get rhythm. I feel more comfortable trying to get a veteran quarterback to get back in rhythm than a rookie quarterback to try to establish a rhythm that he never even had.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
No, I don't like that. Also, I don't always feel like it's Kirk Cousins' fault why they're losing some of these games.
I don't know. What about
Koo missing 3 kicks to the Saints? That's not Kirk Cousins' fault.
He threw a pick 6. He threw another
pick 6. He threw another pick in the end zone. He threw he had a bad game.
He was terrible, bro. He was terrible.
Had a bad game.
He was terrible.
But what did you say while we was at the game when you was talking about the run game? What did you tell him?
It's vanilla.
It's vanilla. That run game is trash.
Outside zone right. Outside zone left. Outside zone right. Outside zone left.
Put Tyler Algier in. What are they running?
Outside zone right. Outside zone left.
Exactly. The best compliment to a quarterback that's struggling is a strong run game.
Yeah.
That's not a strong run game. It's too predictable. And my whole thing is Bijan Robinson has the talent level to be up there with a Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry and Joe Mixon in these conversations when we talk about best running backs in the league. He has the talent. The play calling is not that good on offense. Let's just be honest.
It's terrible.
It's too predictable, especially when it comes to a run in particular. Like you're relying on Drake London jump ball. If the defender gets a smidgen of a hand on him and the ref don't see it, that shit dead. You're relying on Mooney, who's a little bit banged up. He had an Achilles injury and a hamstring thing going on, so I think he's still recovering in that, but he's playing. So, I mean, he's not going to be at full speed. I don't know what's up with Kyle Pitts. Like we never, I feel like we don't never see him being utilized enough. But either that or he's not getting open. It's play calling. I don't like the play calling.
He doesn't even get targeted, so that's how you know plays aren't designed for him.
That's what I'm saying. And also, you have a defense that is capable of shutting down a lot of stuff. The Chargers did not get an offensive touchdown.
They did not.
They got field goals and a pick 6.
Yeah, how do you lose that game?
They did not get an offensive touchdown.
That's the frustrating part about it, right? It's like, how do you lose that game?
They switched over. They're playing that weak-ass zone. That zone is not it. The zone is not it. But my whole thing is you have good enough cornerbacks and safety support for you to be able to play more man coverage than you play. And as we seen while we were at the game, probably late third quarter, early fourth quarter, they switched over to a man coverage. And what happened? Herbert and the boys stopped moving the ball.
Herbert played like trash.
Herbert was not moving the ball against that defense. So my whole thing is you have the personnel, but that's not the best. Herbert don't have a wide receiving core like that.
Yeah.
He don't have a strong wide receiving core. Ladd McConkey had over 100 yards
That's
receiving.
all he got.
But Ladd is just consistent. But he's not like a...
He's a slot. Bona fide slot.
He's one of them guys that's going to cook you up like a Julian Edelman or Wes Welker used to do back in the day, or some of those guys like that coming out of the slot that can really just slice and dice a defense on the inside and just make reliable catches when you need a first down type shit. But he's not the guy that's going to come out and give you too many boom plays. You know what I'm saying? I don't anticipate Ladd McConkey having a whole bunch of 93 yarders or 80 yarders or 70 yarders or 60 yard, 50 yard plays unless it's just some type of really busted coverage. Mm-hmm. So my whole thing is you're playing against a wide receiving core that's not that good in terms of making like super dynamic plays, but they do have good coaching, so they know how to utilize what they got. Mm-hmm. And the defense reflected that, though. So they didn't let them get a touchdown.
So you're not worried about Atlanta? Atlanta's going to the playoffs.
Yeah, they're going to the playoffs.
They're going to the playoffs.
They're going to the playoffs. I think Kirk Cousins doesn't continue to play this bad over 4 weeks. But I think they played against some very good defense.
And they playing against another good one coming up.
And they playing against the Vikings. I don't anticipate them to win this game against the Vikings.
Wow.
I don't.
Wow. So that's 4 games in a row they dropping.
I don't anticipate them to win this game against the Vikings. Which puts them in a scary position with the Buccaneers.
Yeah, because that puts them at 6-7. Buccaneers plays Carolina this weekend. No, they play.
No. The Buccaneers are playing.
What the fuck they playing?
They got the Bucks got.
They on a bye?
They on a bye. No, they playing the Raiders. They're playing the Raiders.
Yeah.
I anticipate them to beat the Raiders, but I anticipate it to be close.
Yeah, so they got an easier schedule than Atlanta to finish off the season. Yeah,
closing out. Now this is the accurate strength of schedule. I think their strength of schedule is a little bit easier than ours to close out the season. However, they do have the tiebreaker with the Buccaneers, so that's the saving grace.
Atlanta Falcons, you guys are on Pretender watch. Hand them the Oscar.
Switching it over to Contender watch.
Who you got?
I got the Broncos country.
I tried to tell you
Broncos
a couple weeks back. Eyes on the Broncos. Three games in a row.
Broncos
going into the bye.
Bo Nix is looking like
the best rookie
of the year right now. Him and Brock. Of course, they're gonna get a weight to the quarterback.
They're gonna give it to a quarterback. But
they're gonna give it to a quarterback over a tight end. But Brock been
he been playing his ass off.
Brock been fucking cooking.
Yeah.
But Broncos they doing it on both sides of the ball though. Mm-hmm. Bo Nix is moving the ball.
They were getting cooked.
That defense got their ass.
Jerry Jeudy fried them up.
Oh my God!
But they made plays when it mattered. 2 pick sixes.
One more play, Jerry Jeudy would have had 300 yards receiving on them.
Yeah, he was
most against their old team in NFL history. Jerry Jeudy had yesterday. What was that? Yesterday on Monday Night Football, Jerry Jeudy had the most receiving yards in NFL history against his former team. He beat out Terrell Owens and somebody else against their former team, and he was cooking like a motherfucker. But defense was the story of that game that won it because Jameis almost had 500 yards passing.
Yeah.
And the defense managed to get 2 timely pick sixes.
But that's what happens when, Jameis Winston is good for that. J-Bo wins, he's good for that.
I'm not throw putting that on
yards and then he'll throw pick sixes.
I'm not completely putting that on Jameis,
that's
though.
What you're going to get.
I'm not completely putting that on Jameis. The only reason why I'm not is because the offense was very predictable at that point because they were down. So normally I think what could happen is you could mix up some of those passes with Nick Chubb running, but you couldn't do that.
That first
down.
pick six, he threw it behind the receiver. The linebacker took it to the crib.
But they were also down, and they were trying to do like a 3-minute drill running down the field, and he threw that. So, but I think in a normal offense, you're not going to try and press that like you would before. So,
no, but I've been impressed with the Broncos. Hell, they were only predicted to win 5 games this year.
Yeah, but we said they was going over that.
Yeah, they were only predicted to win 5
at the beginning
games,
of the season. So. I think you did in your forecast, division forecast. You said that they was going to go over.
Yeah,
and they damn sure have done that.
Yeah, they win 3 straight. going into the bye, coming off the bye. They got the Indianapolis Colts at home, so it looks like that can be a possible another W. And then the biggest game right there after that will be the Chargers division game.
I think they fuck around and beat the Bengals at this point.
Yeah, Bengals going to probably pack that thing on in.
And I don't know what the Chiefs are going to be looking like. I don't know if they're going to be resting people.
Sitting down.
They're going to be resting people at that point. So they have a great chance at winning that game as well. So
might go ahead and stamp that ticket. The Broncos going to the playoffs. Might need to go ahead and stamp that thing.
Might be. I think they definitely contenders. And quiet as kept, they really should have beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, they should have. They should have beat the Chiefs.
Quiet as kept, they really should have beat the Chiefs. So if they see them again in the playoffs, the Chiefs ain't safe.
Look out.
They on their ass.
Look out.
They on your ass. So yeah, man. I mean, that's definitely my contender of the league. What about we go to another segment, a fan favorite around here? It's a little segment we like to call Clock Out.
You can go ahead and clock out.
Time's up.
Right now?
Yeah.
Time is up.
Okay.
Yeah, just go ahead. You can go ahead and clock out for me, big dog. I don't know what you thought you was doing, but it ain't doing what it ain't giving what it's supposed to give, as the girls say.
It ain't giving what it's supposed to give.
I got a clock out for you.
Who you got?
Listen, as a sneakerhead myself, love a good Air Force One. Love a good Jordan 1.
A good off-white.
Good Off-White. Love a good Adidas. I'm a real saucy sneakerhead myself. I like to mix it up with my brands. And McDaniels, he's also a sneakerhead. But as far as coaching goes, I'm not going to say that we're ready for you to clock out because I like what you do a lot of the times. I think you're a creative play caller. I think you're not a bad head coach. However, after I saw the Green Bay Packers dismantle the Miami Dolphins, I got to say, Mike McDaniels, Dolphins head coach, you on watch.
You on watch.
You on watch, my boy. You taking a lunch break right now. You taking a long lunch break right now.
The target is on his back.
Yeah.
You can't win against teams above 500.
No, you cannot.
You can't win on the road.
No, you cannot.
You can't win in cold weather.
No, you cannot.
And you definitely can't win against teams that are over 500 on the road in cold weather. And that's what happened when he played the Green Bay Packers on Turkey Day.
Yeah. Yeah. They made them look like the turkey. They was eating hella turducken after that game. So, I mean, the Dolphins got to do something. The only reason I feel like he's not in a more dire position at this point is because he's had key injuries though. Police was harassing Tyreek Hill before a game. I think they still ended up winning that game. But I mean, you had Mostert had some injuries. You had Achane had some injury. Like you said, Tua, it's just a lot has transpired in terms of the injury report. But I do feel like at some point the front office is gonna be like, all right, is this the guy?
Yeah, you got to win the big games. It's either McDaniel or Tua. Which one? Somebody got to go.
Something.
And generally speaking, they're gonna get rid of the head coach before they get rid of the quarterback.
That they just
paid all this money to. So
yeah.
I don't know. McDaniels, you need to find ways to win these big games. I mean, you beat teams like, New England, the Raiders, the Rams who are struggling.
Under 500 teams.
Under 500 teams. You lose to the Bills, the Cardinals. I don't know how you lose to the Colts, but you.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I mean, that's what it is. You're not winning against the teams that you need to be winning against.
You got to win against who matters.
Nah, it's about time for you to clock out. Because if I'm a Dolphins fan, I'm mad. I'm upset. I'm infuriated. We got a quarterback that always get concussed, and we can't beat good teams. So does that make us a shit team?
More concern is you can't beat anybody who's legitimately good.
Who's worth a damn.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not even close.
If you splitting them and you 500, then we can give you a little bit more conversation as pieces, but it's not close. You're getting the hell beat out you.
Yeah, you getting smoked. Like 17-30. Like, come on, bro.
They smoking on Dolphins pack when you playing against an over 500 team. Bet alert. That's one of my favorite bets going down the stretch.
But they do have the
against
Jets
a
coming
500
up.
team.
They got the Jets coming
I
up.
like them to beat the Jets because the Jets are ass.
Yeah, and where they playing at? In Miami. So under 500 team, warm weather.
That's not saying much.
No, I'm saying that for the Dolphins, it's saying much.
Yeah, I mean, it says something for
Yeah.
the bet, but I don't know.
Yeah, under 500 team at home in warmer weather.
-6
They'll
though.
win that.
-6 against the Jets coming up. That's suspect.
It's suspect, but the Jets are the goddamn Jets.
They still got a little bit of defense in them. But you know what? Since we talking about all this, let's go ahead and parlay that. Mm-hmm. Since we starting to talk about week 14.
Best bets.
Let's go ahead and no.
Must see.
Let's go ahead and parlay that into some must-see TV. You know
What
what I'm
y'all
saying?
need to be watching.
What you need to be watching. I personally don't feel like y'all need to be watching two bad teams play.
Nah.
I don't think you need to be watching the Dolphins Jets game unless you just love football and you just like to watch any game. That's cool too. We do that a lot. However, what's a must-see TV game? What's a game that these folks gotta see?
I think the first game that need to be watched is going to be Detroit and Green Bay.
Okay.
The Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers.
All right. You got talking to the mic for the people.
Oh,
man.
Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, so I agree with that. I think, of course, coming out of the same division, as we just so eloquently stated, they own your ass still. They're a couple games behind Detroit, though. They're not as close as the Vikings are to Detroit, but they coming out of that same division, and it's a division matchup. And both teams are winning games right now. So I think this is definitely a must-see TV game. You always want to win your division games for sure, even though Detroit is up right now in terms of the NFC. But
they're a real good team, man. Detroit is a complete team. They can beat you so many different ways. They can run the ball. They can throw the ball. They play
getting
defense.
some defense now, too.
Yeah, they can play man coverage. They can play zone coverage. They turn the football. They get turnovers.
Hell,
beat you all
quiet
types
as
of
kept.
ways.
Last season, defense was my only gripe with the Detroit Lions. But they got to fight. They dogs.
It seems like the only way that the Lions can lose is if they beat themselves. That's pretty much what it is.
Their fan base is fired up.
Even
They be
outside,
live.
even the game with Jared Goff throws 5 interceptions, they still find a way to win.
If
that
you
game.
win a game with 5 interceptions, that game, I'm glad you brought that up. That game taught me a lot about the Detroit Lions. I've been saying for the past 2 years that Detroit is sneaky, bro. They're a dog. I've been saying it since we started this show. However, when they won that game and Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions, if you can find a way to win and your quarterback is having probably the most atrocious game of his career,
yeah,
and you find a way to win that game against an over 500 team, I think that says that you're a great football team. Not just a good football team, a great football team.
yeah, it shows that you can handle adversity. You can handle being behind.
But that's not normal, though.
you know what I'm saying? That's egregious.
That's championship pedigree right there.
Yeah.
Winning games like that. So I think they're in a great spot, but they just got to remain vigilant and remain with that same intensity.
Yeah.
And with their fan base, they are. I know some people from Detroit. Shout out to my boy 7 Even. I know how y'all going to do. Shout out to Dave, Detroit Dave. I know how people from Detroit is.
9-3 Packers, 11-1 Lions. They're playing at Detroit. Line is 3 points, field goal in favor of the Lions. It's hard to say who's going to win this game, but if I had to lean and pick a side, it would definitely be the Lions because I feel like they're the most complete team.
It's hard to bet against the Lions at this point in the season, especially with a 3-point spread. It's just hard to go against the Lions.
What do you think is the Lions' weak spot?
That's the thing. They don't really have one. Probably the weakest spot is maybe the secondary.
They've been
Out of
playing
the whole
great.
team,
They've been playing great. They've been playing good.
But they've been playing a lot better.
Yeah.
And then you guys, Darius Smith, that improves your edge rushing. Mm-hmm. Then, they're in a great position to make it to the NFC Championship / Super Bowl. So they could get Aiden Hutchinson back in the playoffs. That's going to be even worse. So my whole thing is I'm like, where is the glaring weakness At the beginning of the season, I would say the secondary, but I mean, as of late, the
It'll be
secondary
Dan Campbell, bro. He'll be the coach. It's
Dan
the only
Campbell?
way. It's Dan Campbell. If he don't do no stupid decisions, but he hasn't been doing
He
nothing
hasn't
crazy.
been doing that,
you know what I'm
though.
saying? So
Dan
they
hasn't
haven't
been
been in
playing crazy.
situations. They haven't been in that many situations.
Dan haven't been doing nothing crazy though. And even if he do something that's slightly crazy, the defense has been so good that they've been able to clean it up.
Yeah.
So hey, listen, they look great.
Yeah. My other game, MustSeeTV.
Go ahead. I wanted to. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say Seattle and the Cardinals.
Okay. Seattle and the Cardinals.
Yeah, another divisional game. As we get to the end of the season, start winding down. They start lumping
Another
these
division matchups.
They start lumping these division games every single week.
We're going division games, yeah.
Which makes it MustSeeTV.
MustSeeTV.
You know what I mean?
You gotta make sure at the end of the season y'all ain't tuned out. Y'all just stop watching for a month and then come back for the playoffs. They're gonna put some division games to make it mean something.
Yeah, this MustSeeTV. You had the Cardinals. They were leading division 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Seattle come off with
Storming
2 wins.
back.
2 wins back to back. Cardinals come off with 2 losses back to back, which made them flip flop in position. Seattle jumped over the 49ers, and now the 49ers in that division are in the basement.
Absolutely.
Not looking good based off of, I mean, you called it. They cooked. And it kind of showed that this week against the Buffalo Bills. But Seattle and the Cardinals, I think this is a big game right here. The 7-5 Seattle Seahawks. They're playing the 6-6 Arizona Cardinals. And Seattle on a 3-game win streak. So, Seattle can find a way to win this game. They can find a way to get into the playoffs.
I mean, shit, I don't think they find in a way. I think they look like the favorite to win the division. I mean, the 49ers are cooked. Listen.
Yeah.
49ers are cooked. I said it last week. They cooked. Arizona still has a shot at getting in there.
The Rams do as well.
This is a crucial game.
Yeah.
But I think Arizona is the favorite in this game. They're at home in this upcoming week 14 game. However, if the Seahawks win this, they sealed the division basically, in my eyes.
There's still more football to be played.
It's still some more football to be played.
I ain't going to say that just yet.
I mean,
that puts them in a good position, but you still got the Rams. You still got the Rams, and
the Rams ain't coming.
They in the hunt, bro.
The Rams are not coming. The Rams are losing games to over 500 teams.
They are in the hunt. They just won last week.
Against who?
The Saints.
So, like I said, the Rams are losing games to over 500 teams.
Don't matter. They're still winning.
It do matter. It do matter.
They got a big game against the Bills this week. You don't think if they beat the Bills that they would be...
You think the Rams going to beat the Bills?
It's possible.
I don't.
It's possible.
I don't think they're beating the Bills.
I don't think they'll beat them, but it's possible.
Yeah, anything is possible.
Right. What's your MustSeeTV game?
My MustSeeTV game?
Yeah.
Bolts up, man. You remember Chargers versus Kansas City Chiefs, all right?
Jimmy Khaki Pants Harbaugh?
Yeah, man. Give me Jimmy. I feel like the Chargers defense is playing pretty top tier.
Yeah, scoring 2 touchdowns. Well, 1 pick six. Yeah,
one pick six.
Yeah.
But I feel like their defense has been consistently pretty damn good. The Chiefs have been consistently squeaking by.
Been average.
Pedestrian.
Yeah. But pedestrian in winning games. I guess
they're
don't matter.
pedestrian and winning games. They're the Chiefs. Like we just said, they find a way to win the game.
Don't matter how you win, you win.
That's what they say. However, if it's
all
a team,
I do is win, no matter what.
If it's a team in their division right now that has a chance of beating them right now, it's the Chargers
and the Broncos.
The Broncos tried.
And the Raiders.
The Broncos and the Raiders tried.
They tried.
And they were unsuccessful. The Chargers are getting to go at it again to try and beat them. They got a good shot. I don't love it. I do love it.
Even without the receivers, you think they got a chance to beat the Chiefs?
What has the defense been doing? Brock Bowers carved them the fuck up.
Yeah. The defense kind of fell off a cliff a little bit, but it's still a Spagnuolo defense. Still a Spagnuolo defense. Don't matter. They
Listen,
saving it for the playoffs.
I mean, we can make the argument that they saving it, because they know they in there. They're trying to save some gas and get in the playoffs and blah, 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 blah. However, three-peating is very hard. It's the reason why nobody's done it in football.
Give me the Chiefs, man. Give me the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs will win the game. I mean, Justin Herbert.
I don't love them to cover the spread, though.
They're going to win the game.
I don't love them to cover the spread.
But it's going to be close.
We about
obviously.
betting around here.
Huh?
We about betting around here, sir.
Speaking of that.
You want to parlay that?
Let's parlay.
Let's fucking another parlay.
Let's go.
Parlay this
Since
into
we're talking
a segment
about
that
betting,
we love to call Best Bets.
Best Bets.
What's your best bets, man? Drop them chips on the table.
Well, last week, another 2-1.
2-1 again. Both of us.
Again. 2-1 again.
Both of us. And in Houston, you can't. I had Houston -4. They got -3.
I should have kept him in there. I told him nothing.
Bastards.
I didn't know Trevor Lawrence was playing.
I didn't either.
If I knew that.
If Trevor Lawrence was in there, I wouldn't have took him.
Yeah, I took him. I wrote it down.
But then he get knocked out of the game again?
He got concussed.
Damn.
Aziz Al-Shire sent his ass on the cart, golf cart.
Sent him on a cart.
Mm-hmm.
They got
suspended for 3 games for that. That's crazy. Yeah, he got suspended for 3 games.
He kind of slid late.
He did.
He kind of slid late. I don't know if he should have got suspended.
Not for 3 games.
Well, was it the fight that got him suspended?
It was probably all of it.
It was all of it.
It was all of it. It wasn't his fault. He didn't start the fight.
He didn't. The lineman came up pushing him. I mean, I feel like you just
but they suspended him 3 games for the hit.
It's BS. But
crazy.
Best bets, man. What do you got for your best bets of week 14 of the NFL season?
So this week, man, I don't know if I'm gonna do a clean sweep, but these bets
we ain't had one before.
These bets are given 0-3 because I'm going with all underdogs, but I think they'll all cover. Okay, first one I got the
Damn.
Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, that's the city.
Carolina Panthers, they are playing the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia just came off of a huge win against the Baltimore Ravens. Philadelphia is a powerhouse. Obviously, you got Saquon Barkley, MVP, possibly. Just carrying the whole team on his back right now. Defense is coming alive, as we spoke about. But 12.5 points, I think that's a lot. The Carolina Panthers been playing very well.
They've been in some close games.
They've been competing. Bryce Young, I don't know what happened, but after they sat him down, benched him for a few games, and put him back in, he started to, I guess he's coming to his own. And he's throwing the ball confident. He's running the ball. He's
starting to look like a top-tier draft pick.
Starting to look like a decent quarterback. So 12.5 points is a little bit too much, in my opinion. I think this is one of those games in which, the Philadelphia Eagles, they do win, but it might be like a backdoor cover with the Carolina Panthers. You know what I'm saying? Because who they got next? I feel like Philly has. I feel like they got a team that they need to be worrying about next week.
What's those little bracket prop bets that they have on the game or something where you can do like in between the point range? I feel like Philly wins this game by like 10. I don't feel like they win it by a full 2 touchdowns though. Yeah,
so they got a look ahead game, man. They got the Steelers after that the following week. So I don't think they probably pull down a little bit. They win, but they probably pull back a little bit. But I think Carolina covers. My next one is going to be, don't love it. I like it for the story. Okay. Kirk Cousins back to Minnesota. He's playing. Atlanta Falcons are in Minnesota playing the Minnesota Vikings.
You think Kirk got that dog in him to be mad at his old team like that? I feel like he's a nice guy.
He ain't got no dog in him.
I feel like he's a nice
He ain't got no dog in him.
I feel like he don't have no. I feel like he don't have no bad blood in his heart for his old team.
Yeah, he's scrappy dude. He ain't got no
scrappy dude.
He ain't got no dog in him. But I do like Atlanta +6 to cover the spread. 3-game losing streak. They got to win this game, man. They want any shot to try to get into the playoffs. I think this is a big game for them to win.
Born and raised, man. Born and raised in Atlanta. That's my home team. However, I don't know if they win this game.
They got to win it.
But
If they don't win
I
it,
do like them to cover.
I do like them to cover 6 points.
Minnesota ain't been
Atlanta
beaten.
doesn't get blown out, they
But
just
Minnesota
lose.
ain't been dragging nobody either.
Yeah, Minnesota hasn't been dominating like they have been.
They ain't been
dragging.
They've been barely. They've been on some
Yeah.
Chiefs shit, winning by a little bit.
Yeah, so
A lot lately.
so I like the
it.
Atlanta.
I like it a
Falcons.
lot.
Atlanta Falcons +6. Usually when I bet on the Falcons, they screw me. So hopefully not this go around.
Teaser alert. I love it a lot in a teaser. I love it a lot in a teaser.
Hell, and I think Minnesota probably has like some look ahead games as well.
Probably so. I mean, they got to close out this season pretty strong, and they got a tough division.
Yep,
so.
they got the Bears the following week. So it's gonna be a tight game, I believe. So Atlanta +6, and then lastly,
What's your last one?
my sorry ass Giants. They're playing the Saints
Joe Shea
at home. Saints, Giants +5.
Joe Shea.
I would say this: the Giants were able to score points against Dallas
Okay.
on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That is what I was impressed about. Drew Lock showed some ability in scrambling and moving and running. All of our rookies, they pretty much do a good job anyways. So I think the Giants will be able to cover. The New Orleans Saints, they got some injuries on their side of the foot on that team.
Malik Neighbors might be able to.
Yeah, so another week with Drew Lock. I would love Drew Lock to be the starter this week. I'm not sure if he will be because he was notified that he was going to start on Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving.
He should be the starter.
But Drew Lock should be the starter for sure. And if Drew Lock is the starter, I like the Giants +5. We haven't laid down yet. We're still competing. We're still competitive.
And y'all got some pretty solid defense.
We have good pieces.
And then
Dexter
Taysom
Lawrence
Hill,
is out for the season, which is a bummer, but you know, it is what it is.
Taysom Hill is also out for the remainder of the season.
Yeah.
Who the new head coach over there at the Saints was trying to integrate Taysom Hill into the offense a lot more because he felt like he should be utilized. But now you back to MVS and Kamara. So I'm not mad at that.
Yeah,
I'm
so
not
those
mad
are my
at
three
those.
best bets. I got the Carolina Panthers +12.5. I got the Atlanta Falcons +6, and I got the New York Giants +5. All underdogs to cover.
Well, I'm gonna take that and parlay it.
What you got?
With my best bets. I'm going dog too. At this point in the season, you know, you got a lot of teams. They in a lot of close battles. A lot of people getting tired. Some people injured. Some head coach changes. All this blah 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 blah. I'm gonna start off and take the Las Vegas Raiders +6.5.
I like that.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are playing inspired football. However,
They're getting healthier.
They're getting healthier, and
So I was
Irvin
1-2. Cooking up. We're going to bounce back.
But we saw Brock Bowers cook up too. So and Aiden O'Connell, aka Aiden O'Brady, he was out there. He was out there cooking against the Chiefs now, and he had a great connection. He had Jacoby Myers and he had Brock Bowers moving that football, and they got some good run game out of their backup running back. Forgive me for not remembering his name right now. I think it's McCormick. It was a running back for the Raiders. But I say that to say they generate some offense and they was able to get some stops on defense. They play hard. Antonio Pierce, whether you want to, give him shit or not, or you want to be like, okay, is he on clock out for me, big dog? But he's only been there a season. It's not his
He's on
fault.
watch.
I don't feel like he should be
I'ma
on
give him one
watch,
more
though.
season.
He hadn't even had a real
I'm
quarterback.
going to give him one more season.
I mean, how many people started this year at quarterback?
Yeah, give him
3?
one more season. We'll see. Get him a quarterback and we'll see what's up.
Yeah, so I think they play inspired. I do like them at 6.5 versus the Buccaneers, who have had hella close games. Even when they win, they've won a lot of close games. So we'll see how they do. Next one I like, Bolt Up, my other team, man. Chargers +4 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Why do I like that? Chiefs ain't blew nobody out. Nah. Chiefs ain't blowing them out. They beat the Raiders by 2. Right? And the Chargers are better than the Raiders.
Everybody they've been beating been like less than 5 points.
They had a close game and went. Didn't they go OC with overtime? OT with the Panthers.
Everybody they played was been like short, small points, small.
I don't like them by more than a field goal in this game. I think the Chargers can cover that spread for sure. So give me the Chargers +4. Last one. Listen, typically I hate this team. Typically this team bothers me. I'll say that. Usually because of their fan base. However, the Dallas Cowboys +5 against that badass Bengals defense, I'm going to take it. Give me Cooper Rush, especially if CeeDee Lamb is in. His shoulder he's a little shaky to play. And Dow Rico had a decent run game on Thanksgiving
against the sorry ass Giants.
He's playing against the sorry ass Bengals defense. So my whole thing is the Bengals defense is bad.
Yeah. Their pass defense is bad.
Pass defense is atrocious, but the defense as a staff record label and as motherfucking crew is pretty bad.
Yeah.
So with that being said, at home, I do think the Dallas Cowboys have a solid chance of actually winning that game, but
they won 3 straight.
Definitely covering that game.
Yeah.
Devontae Turpin. I mean, what's his name?
Cavante.
My bad. Cavante Turpin and CeeDee Lamb, if he's playing, listen, you can cook on that defense. So give me the Dallas Cowboys +5. So I got the Las Vegas Raiders +6.5, Los Angeles Chargers +4, Dallas Cowboys +5. My teasers have been hitting 7 out of 9 weeks.
Oh yeah, it's a teaser week for sure.
And all 6 of those are underdogs.
Those are all teaser plays.
Just put the teaser alert like right here in the screen.
Yeah.
I think
that's your teaser. That's your 16 teaser.
That's
right there.
damn near. That's a decent 16 teaser. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah,
I'm probably running that.
Giants goes up to +11. Atlanta goes up to +12. Carolina.
I got a couple.
I
got a couple other teams. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can hit us on the Insta.
Raiders go up to +12.5. Chargers go up to +6, +10, and Dallas goes up to +11.
It looks damn good.
That's a good one right there, brother.
Exactly. So listen, hit us on the gram, man. Follow us on that gram. You know what I'm saying? I might be able to shoot you a couple other plays because I got multiple teasers I'm probably going to run this week. But I do like our best bets teaser right there. Yeah. It's not bad.
But we're not done yet.
But we got
one more
thing for y'all.
My dogs ain't been barking.
You ain't put the dog's been loose, just out running wild.
It's time for the Dogs of the Week. Listen, the only dog that's been barking has been my real life dog. He's been quiet. He's still been quiet.
Quiet today.
Now. He quiet now.
Surprising
now.
Yeah.
My dog didn't bark last week. I chose the Miami Dolphins, fins up. Why did I do that? Because I try to have some hope.
I chose Steel City. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they barked. Just as I thought against that sorry ass
Russell Wilson
Bengals
threw
defense.
for over 400 yards.
Against the sorry ass Bengals defense.
Wow. This week, give me the Seattle Seahawks. Give me the Seattle Seahawks, man. I think
what
they're
the
a good
LA
dog.
was that?
They're a good dog against the Arizona Cardinals. Seattle's they on a good win streak right now. Cardinals are coming off of a loss. I think that obviously they're all on the road, but I think Seattle just across the board been playing good football over the past few weeks, defensively specifically. Then offensively, they've been, Geno's been doing okay. They need to run the football a little bit better, I think, and get my boy JSN involved a little bit more.
You just want him involved for fantasy.
Yes, I do. Jackson Smith and Jigba, get right. But give me the Seattle Seahawks, man. Underdog.
Told you that
to
boy
beat
was
the Arizona
good
Cardinals.
last season. I told you.
I know he was good. Ohio State is receiver university. Them and LSU, they dropped them motherfuckers like hell.
Hey. Okay, I'm not mad at that. I mean, against a division opponent, I'm not mad at them going against AZ this week. And they've been playing well, to their credit. I'm going to go with one. It's more of I'm going to try their ass. I'm going to go with the Bears.
Don't do it.
I'm going to take the Bears as my dog of the week. And I'm going to tell you why. San Francisco 49ers, typically, at the beginning of the season, this is where the strength of schedule things comes into play. Mm-hmm. Typically, at the beginning of the season, this will be high up on the strength of schedule part against the Bears at the beginning of the season. However, at this juncture in the season, The San Francisco 49ers are just as shit as them.
Where are they playing at? In Chicago and in the
They playing in San Fran, actually. I would love it more if they were in. I would love it more if they were in Chicago.
Yeah, I don't like
However, Christian McCaffrey is re-injured.
Yeah.
Debo Samuel still ain't got right.
Jordan Mason is hurt too.
Jordan Mason is hurt.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy coming back off an injury. Where's George Kittle? Listen.
Their offense is dismantled.
Their offense is dismantled.
Yeah.
And that is the only reason I am taking the Bears. And the Bears just got rid of their head coach.
Matt Eberflus, you were on my segment a few weeks ago. Clock out for me,
and
big
they
dog.
clocked his ass out. They listened to you.
Got you up out of there. I mean, it was just a matter of time.
They listened to you and they clocked him out.
Yep.
Which he kind of got a bad beat because he ain't really getting enough time.
He had plenty of time.
I mean, with his
He had
new
a whole
quarterback.
team. He had a whole year with Caleb Williams.
I mean, Caleb is a rookie though, but
Don't matter.
I think teams when they fire the head coach, especially if they wanted his ass out of there, I think they come out and play inspired. Keenan Allen is starting to come on and starting to play a lot better football. Mm-hmm. Starting to become a reliable target for
The
young
players will
Caleb.
tell you.
So I
DJ
mean,
Moore said some shit. You know what I'm saying?
so I think that gives the players incentives to come out and say, hey, you wanted the head coach gone. Now you got him gone. So what the hell you going to do? Mm-hmm. So I think that gives the Bears a little bit of extra incentive, especially with how banged up the 49ers are, to come out here and possibly win this game. So I'm going to go with the Bears as my dog of the week.
Hey, don't love it, but we shall see.
We're going to see, though. One thing at the end of the day, a wise poet once said that they going in.
At the end of the day going in.
So yeah, man, make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel.
Hit that subscribe button.
You know, that's all we got.
That's all we got. And make sure you hit the link in
gave
the
it all I
description.
had.
Props made easy.
Yes.
NBA props going crazy.
Oh my God. Love props made easy on NBA Cup nights where you got these teams playing they starters the whole game, and you don't have to worry about them snatching them out because they still got to get that point differential, and it makes a difference. So I love props made easy on the NBA Cup nights on Tuesday and Friday. So I mean, you got Monday Night Football. Hell, we had Black Friday football. You got college if you're into that type of thing. I say fuck them kids. But college if you're into that type of thing. On Saturday, you got NFL on Sunday and Monday. It's a lot of bets to be made, which means it's a lot of props to be made. So hit that link in the description. Props made easy. Go ahead and tap into that. You're going to make your money back. I made my shit back in one day.
And like we love to say,
Parlays. Making money line plays. May all these bets continue to pay. 7 out of 9 weeks. I need 8 out of 10 so we can get it in.
if this parlay hits, peace.